There is more to me, Queen Eliara of Elfgard, than my elven magic. Just as there's more to Geico than saving you money, Geico also gives you 24/7 access to licensed agents online, on the phone, or on the Geico app. And while I am a mighty elf queen, I am also a mighty big fan of barbecue potato chips. Minions! More smoky mesquite.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Oh, God, Sasha's in the game. What the
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Back in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts, just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go, New York, go, New York, go!
Hey, everybody, it's the New York Knicks podcast, episode 320. As you heard from that little snippet before the song, the game is on right now, but the Knicks are sucking it up, and we would rather do this than watch what's going on.
What would we rather do? Oh, the show.
Yeah.
I'm Mark, and we have Stats Guy.
What's up, guys?
We are ignoring the game that's on right now. That's what's up.
I'm not ignoring the game. Sasha is now in the game. The Knicks are down by 13. Coincidence? I think not. He hasn't been playing that much. The Knicks just suck tonight. They suck always. Sasha just jacked up a three from like 35 feet out, because that's a good idea when you can't shoot from 5 feet out.
Right. So last episode only went up a couple days ago because
We recorded a week ago, but gone.
Yeah, I got really busy and didn't get to put it up before I left for Christmas to visit my family. So you should check that one out because it was a good episode.
Jay, I've got to talk to you about this. So you've been putting school before the show, and now you're putting your family and Christmas before the show. What is wrong with you?
I am a terrible human.
Straighten up.
Yeah.
Stats Guy, would you put Christmas before your before the show?
Absolutely not.
And then I'm Jewish. That's what you're going to say. Sorry. I was going to say something about you being Jewish, too. Whatever. Anyway, so it's just been Christmas. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. And the Knicks played 3 games?
Something like
Two
that,
games? 2 games. They played Atlanta and they played Cleveland. And guess how many games they won?
Well, with Cleveland, they didn't have Melo and O'Quinn. And that was actually the closer of the 2 games.
So I didn't actually get to see either of these games. But I saw highlights, and it just happened. I usually see most games, but this week I had a life. Let's talk about should we talk about the Atlanta game first?
So you want to go in reverse order?
Oh, yes. Whatever. Let's talk about the Cleveland. Okay, whatever train wreck you want to talk about first.
Yeah, let's go in like chronological order. I think that makes more sense.
Ooh, I want to go. What came first? We'll talk about one. Fine. What would you talk about first, Jay? The chicken or the egg?
I would talk about Cavs.
Okay, go.
Well, that was there's not much to talk about. The Knicks didn't have Carmelo. And, of course, with the Knicks' luck, the Cavs had everybody for, like, the first time this season.
There was something I saw that where Porzingis has only played 10% of his time without Melo on the floor. I didn't see, there wasn't anything about how he was actually playing without Melo on the floor, but it seems like he had a pretty good game this game without Melo on the floor. You think it helps him to have a little bit of time without Melo so the offense flows through him a little more?
Maybe a little bit. I don't think that's a huge issue because, he has the attention. The attention's drawn toward Melo when Porzingis is in.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
It is just funny because I think that was literally the only game Cleveland's had their entire roster because Irving missed the following game. So,
wasn't it great early in the year when teams like even Philly was missing Okafor to play us? Everyone was missing someone to play when they were playing us. I guess that luck is over.
We got a voicemail about the Cleveland game. 631-676-1181 is our voicemail. So let's play that.
Yo, so I just finished watching this Knicks Cavs game. watch a couple minutes of it and whatnot, and then something I've come to a realization. In order for a team like the Cavs, all they gotta do really is just call a timeout if the Knicks are hot. Not so that you could run a play, the team, like, for example, the Cavs could run a play, but call a timeout so Derek Fisher could run a master plan play and pass the ball to freaking Aaron Afalo for God knows what reason and make a terrible shot. 3 times. We had the momentum, called the timeout, and then calls the dumbest play in the world, and then that's when the game turned around. It's absolutely ridiculous. It gets on my nerves. I'm gonna go play Fallout right now. Oh yeah, and if you haven't gotten Fallout, Jay, you should get Fallout for your Xbox One. This is Frankie. Usually I email you guys, but I was so frustrated I had to give you guys a call. All right, bye.
All right,
Okay.
Thank you, Frankie.
Should we cut to an interview with? 'Cause, I mean, he's going to criticize Fisher. Fisher should get a chance to defend himself. Do you want to cut to an interview with Fisher's beard?
We're using Republican debate rules.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, sure.
Hey, Jay, I'm Derek Fisher's beard. I make all his decisions.
You make Fisher's okay.
Yes.
Why
yes.
you making
Why do you think
Fish-
he grew me? He didn't know how to coach last year. He needed a beard. That's how you coach. You need a beard.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, I make all his decisions.
So why are you making bad decisions?
Things would actually be worse without me.
Really? So
Yes.
is he coming up with ideas and you're like overriding them, or his brain is just turned off and this is just what's happening?
You saw how many good ideas he had last year. He has his equal number of ideas this year. I forget how it works, Jay. I can't tell you how the spaghetti is made.
It's a little
They're
confusing,
spaghetti
yeah.
produced, okay? And I am making decisions. Every time we give the ball to Melo out of a timeout so you can jack up a shot from 40 feet, that is my idea, and we tell everyone. Everyone, the team usually gets surprised. I say that. Even Melo says, why don't I drive to the basket and try to get something closer? And I say, no. This is the best play, Melo.
So you come up with Fisher's ideas, but you only have one idea.
I have other ideas. It was my idea to have Lopez guard Vucevic against Orlando. They are the same size, so it should work out.
Great. That
It was my idea also that I knew that in the Cleveland game in the fourth quarter, it was a big deal, and so we shouldn't let rookies like Porzingis shoot in the fourth quarter.
But Porzingis is one of the better players on the team.
Well, he's a rookie, and rookies need to learn. That's why I don't play Grant. Grant learns pretty well from the bench. Ever since I've been giving him minutes back, he's learned a lot from sitting and watching.
You know, Porzingis was a professional for 4 years in Europe, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know there were other professional leagues.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I know that, I will not change how I do things. As when I learn new facts, I don't change the outcome.
How are the benefits for a beard? You like that?
He takes me to that shaving store, and he gets me lots of stuff he rubs on me. It's nice. He rubs me a lot.
Thinking about dyeing that little gray spot you got there?
I don't have a gray spot. Why would you even mention that?
Thanks a lot, Fisher's beard.
Okay, I can talk more, but fine.
That's all right. No,
You go screw yourself.
we're okay.
Bye. Yeah. So that was a. So they lost. So, do you want to talk about the Atlanta game?
Sure.
Is there anything else to add to Cleveland? I don't understand why Porzingis didn't shoot at the end of the game, but
I don't understand much about it. What they're doing lately? No, let's talk about the Atlanta game.
So the Knicks played a team that is well coached and plays team basketball. So that was kind of unfair.
I actually watched this game. It was really weird because the first quarter, the Knicks looked unstoppable. They looked like a playoff team. I think Lopez, Melo, and Thomas were all like 4 for 4 or 4 for 5. And then the next 3 quarters, the Knicks just got dumped on. I have not seen so many turnovers in a game. I don't know how they only ended up with 22 because I feel like 3 quarters of the passes got stolen or deflected.
What happened in the game? Like, why did they fall apart?
At the half, they were shooting 63%.
The Knicks were shooting 63% at half.
Right. And they ended up at 48%, which means they probably shot about 30-something% in the second half.
What happened in the second half, though? Why they play so much worse?
It was turnovers. It was bad shooting. I don't know why. Like,
If you could have been Fisher's Beard here, what ideas would you come up with? How would you change things? Stats guy, yeah, we forgot you existed. What would you do, stats guy?
You want to know what Fisher said after the game?
Absolutely, that would be helpful.
He said that, quote, "We couldn't slow them down and stop the penetration, so they continued to get in our paint in almost the entire second half."
yeah, Schroeder ran amok.
Schroeder's pretty good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Or actually, I only think he's good because I see him against the Knicks. And he always looks really good against the Knicks. Did Fisher say, "Hey, I adjusted, and here's what I did to counteract the fact that we couldn't stop them"?
That's exactly what he didn't do.
Does he know you're allowed to adjust or prepare for an opponent?
I think he thinks that's for the offseason.
Wonderful. Who do we play? Who are our next 5 or 6 games? What's our schedule going for the next? Give us a week or two ahead, stat guy.
From tonight.
We got the Celtics tonight, which is not going well.
Yeah, and then Tuesday we play the Pistons at home at MSG, and then Friday. So we go from Tuesday, and then we don't play again till the 1st against at Chicago, and then we play Atlanta 2 times in a row.
When do we play a game we could win?
Well, we'll play back-to-back games against Atlanta on January 3rd and January 5th. We should
Perhaps
be able to
perhaps you didn't hear the question. When do we play a game we can win?
Well, if you say we can't beat Boston, then
we apparently can. I'm watching.
Okay, so then we play Brooklyn January 13th.
God, that's a
at
while.
Brooklyn.
This season's about to get really bad if the Knicks don't step up their game.
Yeah, because it goes Atlanta, Miami, San Antonio, Bucks, Boston.
That's like a massacre to start the year.
Yeah, that's not very good. So Nick Fury is writing, do you guys think Tony Roten is worth signing? He just cleared waivers.
Sure.
Tony Roten, let me just refresh your memory. He is the guy who got cut from the 76ers.
Yeah. Why don't they just bring up Fredette? So, hey, stat guy, were you at the, I think you told us before the show, you were at the Westchester game?
Yeah, I was, and he scored 27 points.
Tell us about going to the Westchester game. Just tell us about your experience.
I had a great experience. We got there literally probably 10 minutes before, probably 15, 20 minutes before the game started. And usually the tickets start at $10. We got, I think they were $20 tickets or $25 tickets. And we got to sit on the side, not behind the basketball hoop, but side court. And, it was a really good, if you like fast-paced basketball and watching guys give effort, it's fun to watch. They lost the game that I went to against the Erie Bayhawks, but they're a pretty good team in the D League.
How did Fredette look?
He looked really good, and I'm not just saying that because I like him and I want the Knicks to call him up, but he plays both sides of the ball. He's got a 3-point shot. He plays defense. He passes the ball.
Okay, so let me ask you important. So the baseline to get minutes for the the Knicks, is that you have to be better than Sasha. So can he shoot 25% from the field in the season?
Yes.
Do you think he can play a lick of defense?
Absolutely.
Do you think can he dribble the ball for more than 12 seconds without turning the ball over?
That was the only thing. He made a couple bad passes. But yes, he made. But no, that was the only time. And no, he played great. If I had to make one criticism, that was it.
Jay, Travis Trice sucks, by the way. He's shooting like 37% in the D League.
He's doing everything else though.
Yeah, he's shooting like shit in the D League.
He's passing.
We need to call him up so he can't shoot in the NBA either.
All right, so
okay, so
Roten, Fredette, or Trice?
I'm gonna go.
Fredette.
Yeah, they should just call Fredette. This seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo is playing good too.
Anyone else look good?
We have a center, Jordan Baczynski. He's played in the NBA as well. He's like 7 foot, and he played the other night. He went 16 for 16 from the field. Not the game I was at, but he looked good to me.
How's his defense?
He's a good 7 foot center. He played good defense. I don't know. It's hard to judge how these skills would transfer over to the NBA. But
yeah. I mean, the thing is, do we need help at center right now?
That's what I'm saying. I think that with Quinn, Lopez, and all that, and Porzingis, they're rotating that center spot pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I feel like we need guards. Guards. It was like in the offseason, the Knicks signed no guards, and now they're paying for it.
Absolutely.
So do we, Jay, since it's Christmas, do you want to cut to the ghost of we're going to do the ghost of Christmas past and future? Something like that. I don't know how it goes, but
Sure.
I told Jay about this idea before the show. I haven't really mapped the idea out. But Jay, do you want to interview the ghost of Christmas past?
Oh, I'd like nothing better than to do that. We wonder why we have 2-hour shows.
Hey Jay, it's Joey Nicknuts here from 2014. I'm really from 2015, earlier in the year. And I think our team is only going to win 17 games this year. It's awful. It is just depressing. Do things get better?
I've never heard you not positive, Joey Nicknuts.
It's really bad. I thought we were going to get the number 1 pick, and we ended up winning our last 3 games. So, now we're not even going to get the number 1 pick. We don't know how to do anything right. This roster is insane. I thought Phil told me we were going to the playoffs. We're not going to the playoffs. We're going to the play-nots.
That was a good one, Joey Nicknuts.
You're welcome. I worked all day on that.
I think you have a career in stand-up coming. I foresee that in the future.
Oh, cool. Where are you in the future? You must be in, what, the 2020s?
No, less than a year.
Oh, you really didn't go very, very far back in time for this skit.
No, we don't have the budget to go really far back.
Okay, well, anyway, not much is going on here, but I'm excited for the development of Travis Ware. So things look really good for our future. And if you tell me Travis Ware is now our best player, I'm going to take a shotgun to my mouth.
He is not in the league.
Okay, cool. Are the Knicks still in the league?
Sorta, yeah.
Oh, man, the past looks pretty bleak.
Yeah, well, the Knicks are 14 and 17 now, so there you go.
Ooh.
What is that?
I'm the ghost of Joey Nicknuts past.
Oh my God, this is going okay. What's up, Ghost?
No. I forgot. It's the ghost of Christmas past. So Joey Nicknuts is a ghost. Oh,
I can't believe that we don't get more recognition as a legitimate podcast.
I'm out of here, but I know. How many wins do you have now, Jay?
We're going to actually get a player to agree to be on the show and then listen to this. And then
do you know I had the weirdest dream? Leaving her a bit for a second. I dreamed we got an interview with J.R. Smith. And I was so excited to tell you about it. Like, I had somehow met J.R. Smith and he agreed to be on the show. We were supposed to call him. And then I woke up. Didn't happen, actually. But I think he might have been high in my dream. So Jay, wow, that must have been crazy. You talked to the ghost of Christmas past.
It was insane, yeah.
Are you going to talk to, do we do the present or we do the future next?
How long is this bit?
Not very long.
Okay.
Well, how's it going? So
Yeah.
yes, that guy. What's the correct order?
Well, I just need to correct one thing I said. They were playing the Delaware 87ers, not the Erie Bayhawks when I went to the game.
Holy shit, Stat Guy! How'd you get that wrong?
I'm glad we got that cleared up.
I was at the
Wow,
game.
Stat Guy. Everyone was listening to our show being like, this is amateur hour. How does he not know what's the name of the damn Delaware team?
Now go
Well,
back to the ghost bits.
I knew as soon as I said that you were gonna attack me viciously for saying that.
no one would ever found out you were wrong. I think no one even would have known the existence of the D League if you hadn't mentioned it. Delaware, what are they called? Delaware 87ers? Or
Don't worry about it.
what did you call them? What are they?
I said the Erie Bayhawks, but they're called the Delaware 87ers. They're the Sixers D League team.
Is it
Wow.
really just the Sixers in a different jersey?
Are
Well,
the 76ers are they tanking by playing like guys from like high school?
Like, who are these guys who are not good enough to get on the Sixers?
Like how do the 76ers tank? I mean the 67 or whatever the hell their names are. They're like, we're going for the top pick in the D League draft this year. We're taking it all levels in our organization.
It's our awesome strategy.
In the
look,
mail,
you want
in the mail.
Do you wanna know why?
Our mail guys just pee on the mail.
Next year, we'll get the number one mailman in the league.
Oh no.
Were you going
can't-
somewhere with that?
What? I couldn't. I had some trouble speaking. I was going to say something about being the Sixers accountant and being like, well, they would have hired the best accountant, but they hired me. I can't actually do math, and they're hoping this turns into the best accountant eventually.
I'm not going to be able to do accounting for 1 to 2 years, but when I can do accounting, I'm going to be really good at it.
The Sixers made their new stadium out of paper mache. Everything in our organization has to be the worst. That's how you get to the best. You do everything the worst, and we get the best. It always works like this in life.
I'm their accountant. All my fingers are fractured, but in 2 years, they'll be healed, and I'll be really good.
Listen. I'm the 76ers GM here, and I want to marry a supermodel. That's why I married this fat pig over here, because that's how I'll get the best wife, by marrying this fat pig.
Okay, can we move on?
Okay, so the Ghost of Christmas Past.
God. Do you have anything planned for this? Or
I've got nothing.
this is the greatest bit we've ever done.
Joey Nicknuts, the Ghost of Christmas Future here. I actually, I guess it should be.
So I take it you weren't going to improv classes since I last talked to you.
I can't stop laughing. The Ghost of this is Joey Nicknuts from 2017. This is the Ghost of Joey Nicknuts' future. Jay, things are pretty bad here. Thanks for interviewing me.
Can't even follow what's happening anymore.
Yeah, it's awful. We stuck with Derek Fisher. We stuck with the triangle. The Knicks fan James Dolan just said we have to get better. We have to trade whoever we can trade to get superstars. So we traded Porzingis, and now we got Kevin Garnett on a max deal.
I don't believe you, because if the Knicks trade Porzingis, we were quitting the show.
Yeah. Well, this is the future. When you get to here, when you get to 2017, you quit the show.
Oh, okay.
You got some anxiety problems at this point.
Yeah.
You have trouble sleeping because you have to wear this mask thing, and
Ghost
and
of the present. Are you pretending to be Ghost of the future?
ooh.
Okay. So Jay from Twitter writes,
Okay.
trade rumors, Paul Gasol to the Knicks. So there's an article saying that the Bulls would be open to moving Paul Gasol, but it does not provide any information on who the Knicks would give up for that.
Or Porzingis or Melo.
Although they did use a screenshot of Gasol standing next to Seraphin.
I don't think they're going to take Seraphin. Why would they take Seraphin? Why would anyone take Seraphin?
That
We
makes
don't even-
no sense.
We barely take Seraphin.
Doesn't Gasol also make like $10 million a year?
Why would? First of all, not that Gasol isn't a very good player, and I know he's 1,000 years old. He still can play, but how is he going to fit into our offense? Does it even make sense? Do we need another big?
No, and he makes $7.5 million a year. So
Unless you're trading Melo and you're using him just to match up contracts, it makes no sense whatsoever.
right.
Because Porzingis, we kind of want Porzingis to be that role. Whatever Gasol would be doing here. We have Gasol. We need guards.
Well,
Go ahead.
I read earlier that they said that they were thinking about benching Robin Lopez. So
why the hell are they benching? Like just using him with the second unit, or just like benching him entirely?
It says report Knicks have discussed benching Robin Lopez. The Knicks drafted Porzingis, who played 38 minutes in Cleveland as a stretch four, a power forward with long-distance shooting range. But it's more than that. Fisher hasn't pulled the trigger on removing Lopez from the starting lineup, but it has been discussed internally. It's the elephant in the room, especially with O'Quinn starting to show signs of being a force.
Do you know? Just to point out that the Knicks last year were one of the worst teams at gave up one of the highest percentage of points in the paint, and now the Knicks give up one of the lowest percentages of points in the paint. Or opponents shoot opponents shoot 48% from the paint, which is one of the lowest in the NBA. So the Knicks defense has actually been pretty good this year with Lopez out there.
He's only playing like 19 minutes a game though, so I don't think it's a big. If you move him to the bench, his minutes don't really change.
I would just say, well, what should change is that maybe you do a lot more with Porzingis at center and Melo at power forward, and Lopez is like the guy on the second unit.
Yeah.
Put Lopez and Quinn together out there, maybe.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a good idea. I think that they're just not doing that because of how much they don't want to do that yet, just because of how big his contract is, and that would be a lot of money sitting on the bench. Another Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah, but it'd be different in the sense that like Lopez would thoroughly contribute with the second unit. It's just like Porzingis is playing better than they expected, so you have to find a way to make it work. I think the offense looks very stagnant a lot, and they need some way to get the floor spacing. The floor spacing is terrible with Lopez out there when he's with the first unit.
You're totally right, and you're totally right because the Knicks are averaging just 14.6 drives per game to the basket. That's the league's lowest total, and that's because they're not running pick and rolls
That guy
at all.
You're watching the games. What does Robin Lopez do when he's on offense? What does he do every time?
He comes up to the top, and
no. Besides that, where does he post up a lot?
They don't give him any. I never see them try to get him the ball down low.
Yeah, but he goes down low and tries to post up all the time. He goes to the paint, puts his hand up. No one ever gives him the ball. But
they don't get him the ball though.
All he does is like, hey, I'm going to clog the paint for a while. Let's see how this helps out. They should do a little more of Lance Thomas with the first unit, I feel like. Jay, do you want to apologize for Lance Thomas again this week?
No, I think I did enough.
I don't do. Jay, what would you do to fix the offense, or fix the team?
Well, I think I definitely need to do something about the guard situation. I think that needs to be tweaked.
Well, I mean, non-external changes. Like, what would you do just with the lineups to make things a little better? By the way, the Knicks are only down by 5. They actually nope, Porzingis missed.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm about 45 seconds ahead of you.
Oh, okay. I'm watching with the app, so the MSG app, so maybe it's delayed. I assume 45 seconds from now, the Knicks have already won the game. I assume the 3 minutes have gone by in 40. Yeah, I don't think anything better is happening in 45 seconds, but that's cool.
No, I didn't say that.
Stat guy, what would you do to improve the team?
This season right now?
Mm-hmm. Run more pick and rolls?
That I really think that they should. That's what they need to do. That's the first thing they need to do.
Do you think the triangle? Do you think the triangle is actually hurting them?
Some people are saying that.
Is there any way the triangle helps them?
Just by the results that we have to look at, no.
Sweet. Let's go to questions, Jay.
Keith writes, how can we persuade Luke Walton to come over to coach once Phil fires Fisher?
Who would you rather have, Luke Walton or Tibbs?
I think Luke Walton.
Stat guy?
I don't know. Another rookie coach?
I mean, I know
don't
you're
know.
big on Luke Walton. I mean, on Tibbs, but I'm just afraid of him just playing Porzingis like 40 minutes a game, just running him into the ground.
What if he promises to play Porzingis only 39 minutes a game? I still go with Tibbs. I like defense. Defense wins.
That's what I was going to say. I would like a defensive-minded coach if possible.
I mean, Walton looks great right now, but the roster's so loaded there. It's so hard to say.
He's playing with a championship roster.
Do you think Derek Fisher would look pretty good with a championship roster? Like, how much work would Derek Fisher do with that club?
I think a lot worse. He doesn't know how to run. He doesn't know how to drop any plays.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for Twitter, at NY Knicks Podcast on Twitter, nyknickspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, here's something I want to talk about really briefly. Totally not about the Knicks, but about the NBA. Have you heard about the NBA taking on gun violence? You guys want to know what I'm talking about? There's a new NBA ad campaign. It's financed by Michael Bloomberg. It's NBA players talking about gun violence and how they're against it.
Okay.
Have you guys heard about it or not? Or you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Stack guy, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't actually.
Has anyone ever read the paper?
No.
I thought it was a big story. I mean, not that big of a story, but they made like Steph Curry's in a commercial, and a couple other guys are in commercials talking about the dangers of gun violence.
Okay.
It's weird because they made a big deal about the fact the NBA is doing these commercials, and I don't understand who's not against gun violence. I think the NRA is against gun violence also. I think the only people not against gun violence are ISIS.
Yeah, it is weird to get upset about that.
Because the commercials, they don't say, well, I understand all the shootings that go on, but they refuse to say anything about gun control or laws to pass to prevent gun violence. These commercials just talk about gun violence being a bad thing. So it's a really bizarre ad campaign to me because they were talking about, I'm like, well, yeah, like the NRA could run anti-gun violence commercials. Why don't you talk about something, how to actually help?
The NBA cares.
Like, what's your next commercial? We're against cancer. I don't know. I thought you guys would have heard of this.
It's probably that commercial that I always fast forward because I always start the games a half hour late and then and record it so I can like skip free throws and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I found what you were talking about. I typed in NBA gun violence, and the first thing that popped up on Google was Fox host, NBA players tainted Christmas with public service ads against gun violence.
Christmas is ruined because the NBA doesn't want people to shoot each other.
It doesn't even make sense because they don't take any position. So it's like, and then Fox is against this. Fox is like, how dare you criticize gun violence? What did gun violence ever do to you?
Fox is such a parody of itself at this point. It's so funny. Okay, before we get too political.
My Christmas is ruined because I heard gun violence was bad.
Sorry, kids. The NBA ruined Christmas this year. So, Jamel writes, this trade would absolutely make sense. Make my New York Knicks a better team, and also makes their bench stronger and creates a balance that we saw on the 2012-13 playoff season. Also, Mike Conley would be a stellar upgrade at the point guard position. It would be nearly flawless at point guard position, perfect triangle for the offense. I would prefer... okay, there's a link. Let's see what this trade is. This trade is...
Mike Conley for Kevin Serafin.
I really hope it's a legitimate...
It's not a legitimate. Come on.
Okay. The Knicks get Kevin Martin, Oladipo, and Napier. Okay, so he is keeping it realistic.
Okay.
The Magic get Serafin, Jerian Grant, and Clay Anthony Early, and the Timberwolves get Calderon.
Okay, so we trade our garbage and we get back good players. I haven't heard the strategy tried before Good idea.
Well, Minnesota, it makes sense. Minnesota,
Because they're dying for Calderon. I know there's some rumor out there they're dying for Calderon.
well, that and they're trying to dump Kevin Martin because they got Levine playing his position.
Okay, I'll take Kevin Martin.
And then Oladipo has been demoted to the bench already, and Napier doesn't really play. And we give up Seraphin Grant and early.
I love the trade. I mean, the Knicks get better. Sounds great.
I don't think that's a terrible trade for any of those teams.
Oladipo's pretty damn good. Did you see him against the Knicks?
He
plays really good defense.
Can you really use a player playing good against the Knicks as a gauge?
No, that's probably a good point. But Oladipo he was a number 2 draft pick. He still can score. He's a solid piece off their bench right now. We're trading
He's got
him.
major potential.
We're trading him Seraphin, who can't play on the goddamn Knicks. Clee Anthony Early, who can't play on the goddamn Knicks. And Jerian Grant, who can't play on the goddamn Knicks. In what frame of reference do the GMs go, well, they can't crack the Knicks lineup, but I'm sure they're still pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of playing good against the Knicks,
I think if you can do Calderon for Kevin Martin straight up, that might make some. That at least I can see legitimacy of them trying to get rid of Kevin Martin and maybe wanting Calderon.
they both have one more year at $7.5 million left.
Yeah, that would make some sense. I don't know how Orlando gets in and just gets shit upon.
So every year I keep a list called the Knick Effect, where we track the one of the 2 highest scoring games of the season against the Knicks. And last year on this date, we had a triple Knick Effect, where 3 different players had their season high against the Knicks. I just thought that was interesting.
Who were they?
DeMarcus Cousins, Darren Collison, and Rudy Gay.
Cool.
Cousins at 39, Collison had 27, and Gay had 29.
That's surprising because last year's team was so good. Did this year around Christmas? Did someone get like similar numbers in the Atlanta game?
I'm not sure. I usually around game 35. I usually start. I go back to game 1 and look at the Knick effects because if you start too early in the season, obviously everyone's going to have one.
Okay.
So I'll start that list soon. So thank you, Jamel. Jimmy writes, who do you all believe is top 3 Knicks of all time?
Let's see. Definitely Jimmer Fredette.
Travis Ware
and I would say I was gonna say Galloway, but I'm gonna have to give this to Charlie Ward.
Who's that guy that was drafted with Fields?
Okay, so do you want to go down? Just all 3 of us. Let's take turns. I'm going to start my list with Patrick Ewing. Anyone want to disagree with me?
No. Clyde
Okay.
Frazier.
I'm going to say I probably agree with that one too. Who is number 3 on the team? Earl of Pearl.
We should go with
Stat guy.
Tracy McGrady,
Yes, it's Tracy McGrady. It is. We're going to leave it with that. Clyde.
Bernard King.
Clyde
That's the name I
Ewing and
was
Tracy
thinking of.
McGrady.
Bernard King.
Is Bernard King better than Melo?
Yes.
Well, I mean, statistically, he's better. But what about like the intangibles, like his brand?
His brand is definitely not as good.
How many titles did Bernard King win?
Same.
Yeah, Melo's got him there.
Okay, so we're agreed that it's Andy Rottens.
Okay, Andy Rottens.
Okay.
Remember when we wanted to get the Knicks to play Andy Rottens?
Yeah.
I don't think actually we ever wanted that one. That was one guy the Knicks put on the bench. We were like, okay, I don't know why he's even drafted, but I understand he's just sitting there.
Jimmy writes, I have an interesting topic that I need your opinion on. Everyone who played in the early 2000s to the 70s claimed that the game back then was a lot more physical and the refs wouldn't call as much as they do now. I watched the full 60-point game of Bernard King in the mid-'80s, and I swear every time he was even touched, they blew a whistle. I was in awe. I couldn't believe some of the calls he got that game. And I look at Michael's games, and it's the same thing. He gets touched, the whistle blows. I watch Mel every night take a lot of physicality, especially in the paint. I'm convinced that these old legends just used that as an excuse for why they didn't score as much. The only thing that is worse now is flagrants and technical fouls. But the game back then gave a lot more touchy-feely fouls. Do you agree, or have you seen enough to notice?
I mean, I felt like the game. I mean, like I thought it was a tougher game, but I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember that. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of these. I didn't watch the Bernard King game or anything, so I don't really know. Did back then was it just as many touchy fouls?
There was definitely star calls, but there was also. I think it's the fact that like players would like punch each other, and the ref would be like, "Don't do that."
I feel like it's gotten just so much worse with these calls.
I think also the flopping makes it worse.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't as much flopping, or maybe I didn't. It's that guy. When was flopping invented? By the way, tonight Porzingis had 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 block shots.
Nice.
And 2 steals.
And the Knicks lose.
And he shot 4 for 13 also, which was obviously not that great.
His shooting is not good all season.
Yeah. What do we think? Too much hype on surrounding Porzingis, or hitting a rookie wall, or what's the story?
I don't know if it's either one. He's just got to fix his shot. That's all.
I think he's got the form. He'll get better. I mean, I guess as a rookie, like guys don't always start out like dominating, and he's not going to be quite as dominant right away.
Right. I mean, he's shooting almost 85% from the free throw line, so he can shoot.
Do you think it would be helpful to get him involved in, like, say, pick and rolls?
No, they should definitely just not involve him in the offense at all.
Yeah. What? Yeah, whatever. They don't seem to play a lot of. I don't know what the hell this team is about to go. I can see this team in 2 weeks being miserably bad, and I'm just really upset by this. I thought that we were going to have a season where we'd be like 500 along the way, and like we win some, we lose with some, but it's not so bad. I see us going on this terrible losing streak, and people just wanting to like shoot themselves in 2 weeks.
No, that's not going to happen.
Please talk me out of this, because I don't like. I see just loss after loss mounting up. Everyone calling the Knicks a joke again, and the only benefit is maybe Fisher might get fired.
That happens every time the Knicks lose more than a game in a row with you.
That's true. But I really am getting kind of worried. They need to win. They need to win a game soon, because they obviously need to win a game soon either way. My wife has walked in the room. Hi, honey.
All right. So Facebook questions.
Okay. Let's cut to Facebook. Are we at 20 minutes yet? How long's the show been?
Last time we lost 4 in a row, we won the next 4 games. So this is the 4th game we've lost, so we should win the next 4.
Okay, so we'll beat who do we at next?
Detroit.
Okay. Detroit, you're going down. You're on notice. Bruno writes.
Going down.
Bruno writes, I don't understand one thing, and I want to know if you guys do. Why the hell does Fisher call a timeout to draw a play when he has it when he has it in that same play? Dellavedova garving Porzingis in the post, and also why does he insisted in ISO plays against Shumpert, who is a great defender?
I don't have an answer to any of that.
Bruno, I have a better question for you. Why is Derek Fisher a coach in the NBA? He's just not. It's hard to tell if another coach would be much better with this team, but it doesn't seem like this is working right now. How long do you think realistically? How long realistically does Fisher have to keep this job? Like guaranteed, he's going to have the job throughout the whole season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any chance he doesn't come back next year?
Small chance.
How bad does the team have to be for him not to come back?
Like they would have to win 17 games again.
So 3 more games the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. George writes, I can't understand KP having awesome game against the Cavs, yet in the 4th looked like a lamppost out there, and his teammates weren't utilizing him. Thoughts?
He does. Yeah, they don't seem to involve him in the offense, which is very weird.
Do you think maybe the coach should say, hey, that guy who's 7'3", have you noticed him out there? I feel like he's not as maybe one issue is that because he's a rookie, he doesn't like demand the ball. And in the fourth quarter, everyone gets worried and they start just trying to take the game over themselves, and they don't give the ball to Porzingis.
Maybe I don't know.
He does seem to disappear at times, which is weird because he should especially the Cleveland game. He should have been still like scoring a bunch of points in the fourth quarter,
Right.
or at least shooting a bunch of shots and seeing what happens. It's that guy. What's Porzingis shooting on the year?
1 second.
Michael writes, who's available this offseason? Who can we add to improve? Who can we subtract to improve? Who are our keepers? What should Kristaps add to his game?
That's a lot of questions.
Who's available? George writes, Clyde said the skyhook. I agree. You can't block that. That's a good, actually, that would be quite a shot to him, for him to add.
I don't know why nobody adds that.
I don't know. It just seems like it worked for the greatest scorer ever in the history of the game, so why not try it also?
Very strange.
Doesn't Seraphin do that a little bit?
Yeah, and even Robin Lopez did a couple the other day.
I mean, I get.
420.
Sorry, what's he shooting?
422.
So he's still shooting better than Melo.
And Kobe.
And then, but his 3-point percentage is 337.
So it feels like he's been shooting pretty bad lately, but he's still reasonable.
Yeah, I mean it's not good, but it's not like train wreck level bad either.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a rookie.
42%. I don't think J.R. Smith shot better than 42% his entire time as a Knick.
Right.
Not that that's like a much of a like, oh, you're as good as J.R. That's
Hey, 6th man of the year.
yeah, 6th man of the year. So
Listen,
he's not.
I think he's adjusting pretty well for his first year in the NBA. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's. I think the strides. I think he looks pretty good. I mean, just because he may not be quite as dominant as we hoped, he's still a pretty darn good player.
It's like people. I'm not going to expect just because he had one or two blowout like huge games that he's going to do that every single night. I mean, be realistic.
Right.
I think, and he does things like he gets up a lot of block shots. He does a lot of other things that help. I mean, he changes guys' shots more than like you have to now worry about him blocking your shot, which Knicks don't have too many guys that have done that recently.
Right.
Made other teams worry about when they drive to the paint.
And he's rebounding. He wasn't known to be like such a great rebounder, but like he's rebounding well.
He gets some like crazy good rebounds also, not just like, hey, they shot the ball and no one's trying, so I'll get the ball and we'll bring it up court. He's gotten some rebounds where, like, especially on offense, where he had to go over two guys. Yeah, he really like got some nice, some impressive rebounds. I think the Knicks should keep him. Jay, do you think the Knicks should get rid of him?
You know,
I know you've been advocating to trade him the whole time.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the guy has potential. Maybe we should hold on to him.
Okay, so who's available this offseason? Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson. We need a point guard.
Right.
Pretty clear. Who can we add to improve? One of those guys. Who can we subtract to improve? Who do you want off the team?
Vujicic.
I mean that he better not be on this team. He should be off the team by the All-Star break.
Agreed.
Who else would you want off the team?
There's nobody else I really want off the team.
I mean, Edmondson seems like he can easily someone else can just take his roster spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys where I'm not going to be heartbroken if they're gone, but there's nobody else I'm like, hey, I want him off the team.
Do they have Seraphin next year? Like Kyler Quinn and Seraphin, do they have both of them next year?
Stats guy?
Yeah, I'm already looking it up.
I think Seraphin is just this year.
Because I would think Seraphin and Quinn seem like you don't need both those guys, especially with Porzingis playing some center.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think it's worth trying to trade Robin Lopez?
Depends what you could get. Sure, it's worth putting out some feelers.
Would you do it just to get rid of his salary? So you can use the salary in the offseason?
No, I wouldn't do it just to do a salary dump, no.
No, I'm asking. Well, some people would say, if you're talking about benching him and we don't need him anymore, then you want to dump his salary because he makes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think he's still a good guy to have on the team, then you don't want to do that. You want to try to get something for him.
No, I mean, I don't think he's He does
No,
play defense.
He signed a 4-year deal with us for $16 million. He's on our team.
Yeah.
Serafin?
No, O'Quinn.
Oh, okay. So Serafin's on a one-year deal?
Here, I'm gonna look him up now. My computer froze.
Can you only look one player up at a time? Okay, so Stat Guy's computer froze, so he might be useless the rest of the show. Just kidding, Stats Guy.
No, it's a 1-year deal worth $2.8 million.
Okay, so we can probably like replace him. I don't know. Anyone else on the roster we need to get rid of?
No.
You could definitely trade Serafin.
Yeah.
Calderon. And who are our keepers? I guess the other guys. And what's the Kristaps to add to his game? We all agree the skyhook would be pretty awesome. A low post game in general would be pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to shoot.
Yep.
Tony Roten got released from the 76ers. Andrew writes, I'd give him a go. What do you think?
Sure, give him a try. Give him Vujicic's minutes.
What the hell's the deal with Cle Anthony Early? I just want to ask that every show. George writes, thoughts on Serafin not really liking his game too much of a ball stopper. Looks to shoot heaps in the mins. He's on like he's Akeem. What do you think?
Definitely expendable.
George writes, they need to create a hybrid version of the triangle. Jackson and company need to sit down and create a faster paced version with a quicker motion, but it starts at the guard with this today's game. It needs control at point guard. A young guard like Jennings would be a good. This is long. Like Jennings would be good. A lot may disagree, but everywhere he goes, he's made the team better. Also with the triangle, they can pick and roll and pop plays incorporated into the system. The system should bring out the best of the player, and their strengths incorporate your player weapons into the system. Jerian Grant needs there's no periods anywhere.
All right,
Jerian
we get
Grant,
the point. We get the point. The thing with Jennings is he's not.
Hang on. He wrote the question. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Okay, fine. We'll do another 2-hour show.
And Jerian Grant needs to go to the D League to develop a mentor of Jennings. He is perfect example of what style he should play. Jennings can control the tempo, run the traditional plays, then KP6 can incorporate the traditional interior passes that the triangle possesses, leaving a flawless.
All right.
Like
we got it.
I'm reading the whole thing.
You're killing me.
Like cutting out his post ups. There should be, I think there's a random period there. There should be one guy on the floor posting up at a time eliminates ball watching, and Melo being open for the perimeter shooting, better percentage shots. Also Lopez open for cuts. Thoughts on a change and altering the triangle would benefit the team? ? Jay.
Whoa, you're done? Sorry, I fell asleep.
Jay, ask the question, please.
I don't even know where the question was in that.
Do you think changing the triangle would be helpful?
That's what the question was?
There was this long interlude about Jennings helping out Jerian Grant's game also.
Jesus Christ. Do I think running the triangle would be helpful?
No, I'm changing it. A hybrid triangle. Do you think the triangle is perfect? And if the Knicks execute the perfect triangle, everything will be great.
Triangle sucks.
Have you guys seen the movie Interstellar?
I watched it last week and I thought it was the most boring. It was
the biggest piece of shit.
It was so long.
Someone at work had told me it was amazing. She was like, "Oh my god!" He goes different universes and blah blah blah, and like this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
We're doing Brink Wednesday. Can we just do a rant on Interstellar there?
I was just shocked how bad the movie was. It was so goddamn boring. They never even encountered alien. It just sucked.
It was terrible.
Oh my god, it was just a piece of shit.
The Martian was so much better for if you want to see an outer space movie.
I heard that was really good.
Anyway, the movie was long, boring, and sucked, and still made. And I'm comparing it to this question, I guess. But this question is actually much more interesting. At least the question made more sense than the movie. Interstellar sucked.
The movie is long, boring, and it sucked. I'm comparing it to this question.
No, I'm sorry, George.
Ouch.
I'm sorry. I just made that joke. I don't know why your question reminded me of the movie Interstellar, but I watched it this weekend also. Anyway, I think the triangle, I don't know what I just make I don't know how you perfect the triangle and everything works out, but I feel like the Knicks want to reach some kind of triangle nirvana, and everything will be great. We don't have Michael Jordan. We just stop it, Phil Jackson. Save us from ourselves.
All right, let's keep it moving, folks.
Q writes: Is Porzingis the best gift basketball god have ever given us?
I would say Ewing is probably better, but number 2.
Since Ewing, he's probably the best gift we've gotten.
Yes.
Evan writes, do most fans agree that Calderon shouldn't be anything more than a 15-minute backup on this team?
I would think so.
I think Calderon would probably agree with that.
The problem is he's
maybe not
our
on
best
this
option.
team.
That's the problem, is that he hits shots. The team is such an awful set of guards.
Yeah. I'm glad they locked up that 5th power forward before they bolstered the backcourt.
Could the Knicks have the worst set of guards in the NBA? Stat guy, is there a team that has a worse set of guards than the Knicks besides Philly? Because I know Philly's probably worse.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll look.
Did maybe Phil forgot, it's been a long time since he's been in the NBA, and he forgot the guard position was an important one?
I hate guards as much as I hate 3-pointers.
And the weird thing about it is, the guards suck, but Aflalo is one of our better shooting guards we've had in a long time. Galloway is not bad, but yet the whole guard position is terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But how do you?
Next question.
Here's my question to you. I want to make the show as long as possible.
You're killing me.
Aflalo, you agree, is one of the better guards we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Galloway, he should be on the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are the Knicks overall, if they have 2 guards that are pretty good, why did the guards play overall so bad?
Because everyone else is terrible, and even those pretty good guys should be backups.
You think? Yeah, Galloway should be a backup, and you think Flowell should be a backup?
He was backup on his last team, wasn't he?
I do agree. There's something to him coming off the bench. Chris Porzing writes, "How pissed off are you at Fisher and his dumbass decisions?" Agreed, Chris. Chris Porzing writes, "Who's better, Porzingis or Kevin Love?"
I'd say today, Love. Maybe by next season, Porzingis.
If you're Cleveland, would you trade Kevin Love for Porzingis? Just in the idea that you every year you have LeBron, it's you don't know what's going to happen next year, so you're trying to win the title this year.
I would think probably no, just because you're in win now mode.
You have better defense though with Porzingis on the floor.
Yeah, I still think you're better with Love at this point.
Stat guy, what do you do if you're Cleveland?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, good, Stat guy. I'm not going to repeat the question too. Andrew writes, "Why do the Lakers keep being allowed to play on Christmas Day whilst they are playing terrible? The Knicks deserve a game on Christmas Day because they are playing half decent."
Every day Kobe's on the court is a gift from Santa.
Q writes, I'm only going to sign this $35 million deal if the NBA guarantees I can be playing Christmas still. Stack, what's that picture you sent me?
Oh, I didn't even. I meant to put a caption on it. That's the Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Oh,
and me.
Oh, cool. I assume you're the guy that's 7'3"?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That guy I was telling you, Jordan Krasinski.
He's pretty big. So it's pretty. They sign autographs after the game. They stick around.
Yeah, I got a picture with Jimmer too. Yeah, they'll sign if you want to. I got Thanasis to sign his rookie card and a couple other things.
What if you don't want them to? Will they still sign something for you?
No,
I don't want a signature. I will sign your ass right now. Get the hell down. That's pretty cool because the Knicks games they don't sign autographs afterwards.
I went to one Knicks game last year and I got Damian Lillard's and CJ McCollum's autograph. They signed it. I brought their cards to the game and CJ said to me, he goes, "I'm only going to sign it because you brought it with you." I was like, okay.
Wait, how did you get? You went to the warm ups, or when did you get the? How did you get the actual signature? How did you get close enough?
I was standing by the gate, all the people line up, and then they let you in.
Yeah.
And I was I wasn't one of the first people up there, but I went down to where they run through the gate, and they were doing practice, and so I wasn't on my seats were not near where the Knicks bench was, so I just was like, all right, I'll just stay over here. And they came over before the game started and signed a few. I missed LaMarcus Aldridge, but I almost got his too.
Do you know next time you could do that? At the last second, switch the rookie card out with a Knicks contract. You're a Knick now.
Gotcha.
Q writes, which ex-Knicks currently in the NBA would you like to have back in the Knicks the most?
Well, Wade Wilson just wrote Shved. I really wouldn't mind Shved on the team.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind either. I'm going to say I think the guy that would help the team the most right now would be Jeremy Lin.
Oh, for sure.
Or Ariza.
Yeah, I think the thing is Jeremy Lin, what he does the most is like he's a guard that penetrates.
Yeah.
Gallinari would be nice also. Shay gets writes, the best part about the Knicks not playing today is that nobody will be subjected to those Christmas green eyesore atrocity unis this year. Agreed. Q writes, should the Knicks re-sign Hardaway if he's waived by the Hawks?
No. Never,
No
never,
way.
never.
What if you could re-sign him and then trade him back to the Hawks for their number 1 draft pick and just do it every year? The Hawks are like, I don't know. I mean, we didn't play him last time we had him, but okay, we'll give you our number 1 pick just last time, guys. Shane writes, if we had Tyson Chandler instead of Robin, do you think Tyson would be a better overall player as this point of the season compared to Lopez? And rumor is the Knicks may want to upgrade at the backcourt position. Who would you trade for, and what would you willing to give up? So first part, would Tyson Chandler make a big difference over Robin Lopez?
No, Chandler looks done this season.
Yeah. I'd rather have Robin Lopez over Tyson Chandler right now. And backcourt, we'd like a point guard. Andrew writes, thoughts on Christmas Day jerseys?
They look like pajamas.
Andrew writes, would you break the bank this offseason to try and lure Andre Drummond to the Knicks, although I doubt it would happen without a lot of incentives off the court? What
I'm scared by
what incentives off the court does he mean?
Like all the shady behind the scenes stuff that goes on.
Okay, Andre Drummond, we'll throw in some slave women for you.
So Chandler is averaging 4.7 points a game.
That's not good. How many minutes is he playing though?
22.
That's not good.
He's shooting almost a career low in field goal percentage. His numbers are down across the board. He's a mess. He's missed about 7 games too.
What would you do this offseason if the only position that Phil upgrades is the bigs? Like he signs like a couple more power forwards.
So just every season he just gets 2 new power forwards?
Yeah, he just does the power forwards, does nothing to the guards. We go through the exact same guard situation next year.
I freaking hate 3-point shooting. Power forwards. Whole team power forwards.
Listen, eventually the NBA will have no dribbling. I'm just ahead of the curve on this.
We'll just get 100% of the rebounds. Unbeatable strategy.
Listen, if you crowd the paint with a bunch of guys that are tall, how do you lose? I don't know. That's what I did back in my day when I had Michael Jordan and other players that don't fit what I'm saying. Yeah, Andre Drummond. Would you? So Andre Drummond, do you give him a max deal?
I'm scared of his 38% free throw shooting, but I'm loving his 16 rebounds a game.
I'd say no. I say it makes no sense whatsoever.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
He's a very, very good player, and I have no question that he'd be an upgrade on the team. But what are you trying to build here? Like, stop going for bigs. Our guards are terrible.
Yeah.
It's that guy. Drummond, max deal?
I agree with what you said. I don't know about a max deal. He's a good player, but I like you said, we need guards.
It's that guy, Drummond. Would you have him over for dinner, and what would you make him?
Fettuccine, I don't know.
Okay. So, Drummond, if you come over to dinner with a stat guy, he'll make you fettuccine. Let us know next show if you take him up on the offer.
That's just what I want to eat, so, you know.
That's not cool. You should plan your dinner around your guest. Etiquette 101, stat guy. Andrew writes.
Wait, let me say one thing about Alexei Shved. That they did try to sign him, but he wanted to take a deal to go back to Russia to become the highest paid player outside the NBA. He got 3 years, $10.2 million to return home to Russia.
What did the Knicks offer him?
It doesn't say exactly what the Knicks offered, but his agent said we didn't get the right number with the Knicks. Maybe next season, he said.
I believe the Knicks offer was this is how the phone call went. Hi Alexei, it's this is Phil. You're from Russia, right? What do you think about us paying you the minimum amount we could pay you? Minimum's a big number.
He's only 26. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, I think the Knicks only offered him the minimum.
The Knicks didn't have any money
stupid.
available because they used up all the money on the bigs. So.
Well, they paid, because they had to pay Seraphin.
Yeah, we'd offer you more money, but we need a guy that can do the same thing as Quinn. Andrew writes, what is Fisher's plans for Vujovic? I keep him, play him, or waive him, or is he taking on a mentoring role for the younger players?
Ugh.
Do you think mentoring roles are overrated?
I think it depends on who's doing the mentoring.
Okay, here's a question. Kevin Garnett in Minnesota. Is Towns and Wiggins, are they benefiting from having Garnett on the team?
I think so.
Stat guy?
I do too.
No, Stat guy. What would you make Garnett if he came over for dinner?
Come on.
Fettuccine. Everyone gets fettuccine no matter what.
Wow. Come on. Like, what if he doesn't even eat? What if he's lactose intolerant?
Fettuccine.
We'll fix it. We'll figure him something out.
Fettuccine with a side of lactate pills.
Okay, cool. Q writes, and I don't know what the hell. Why does Fisher keep playing him? Will you guys vote for Donald Trump if he can get the Knicks into the playoffs?
No.
So Jay, let's just say Donald Trump says to you, like, "Hey Jay, I need your vote. You vote for me for president. I will be president, and I can get the Knicks LeBron James." LeBron's going to be a free agent next year because he gets to be a free agent every year of his career.
All right, this is just ridiculous.
Stat guy, what about you? Would you vote for Trump if the Knicks could get LeBron James?
No. What would you make What would you make Donald Trump for dinner? Would it still be fettuccine?
Stat guy, do you have fettuccine every night for dinner? What did you have for dinner tonight?
Pizza.
You had pizza. You wouldn't offer pizza for Garnett came over, Drummond came over. They don't get any pizza though.
No, I want the rest of that.
You're a bad host, man. George writes, Brooke Lopez to the Pistons for Brandon Jennings. Fair trade. Would you do it? That's the rumor. I don't know how this affects the Knicks, but
yeah, I'm sure the one good guy on the Nets will get traded for a guy coming off an ACL injury. I think you meant Robin Lopez.
I was going to say, do you think you meant Robin Lopez? Stan Lopez to the Pistons for Jeff Jennings. What do you guys think? Would you do Robin Lopez for Jennings?
Sure.
I wouldn't do this. I don't think Lopez. I think Lopez is useful. We should not give up on one of our better centers we've had in a while.
No, I was kidding. No.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
No, because then we have a hole at center, and we don't even know if the guy can play yet. He's coming off an ACL injury.
Okay, what if he comes off the ACL injury and he looks good for the first week?
You don't base it off a week.
2 weeks, fine. He looks great for 10 years.
Then you definitely pull the trigger.
Whatever period of time you need to look good for Jay to be okay with it.
Detroit, make sure he's playing good for 10 years. Then we'll call you.
Okay, how's this? Would you trade Lopez for Jordan Clarkson? Clarkson resigns with you. He gives you as part of the trade. Clarkson will sign a contract with you.
I don't know. I know what his numbers look like in fantasy, but I don't know if he's playing any defense or anything.
He's on the Lakers. He's not, obviously.
Yeah.
Stat guy, did you do that trade?
What's the trade?
Jordan Clarkson. I know he's gone. He knows a free agent after this. Jordan Clarkson, plus he signs an extension for Robin Lopez.
Oh, yes, I would do that in a heartbeat. I like him a lot. I have him on my fantasy team.
What would you make him for? What would you make him for dinner?
Well, whatever he wanted, absolutely. We need him. I was looking at him. What does he have? An option for next year?
He's going to be a free agent.
Oh, he's not a restricted. He's unrestricted.
I thought he's unrestricted. Well, Stack Guy, you should actually know this, though.
He's restricted. I'm 99% sure.
Well, how much would you offer him?
I would. How much?
And give your answer. Give your answer in the form of an amount of fettuccine.
3 to 4 years worth of fettuccine, and I don't know. I'd give him probably 9 to 10 million a season.
That seems reasonable to me.
For 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I would do that, but the Lakers probably will match. Actually, I don't know if the Lakers...
they will.
Actually, maybe they won't max because they feel like Russell will take over for him.
That you still need more than one player. He's young. They're not going to give him up. He's starting.
What can we trade? So, what guard can we trade Robin Lopez for right now to make our team
He's
better?
23.
Because Robin Lopez is our most valuable trade piece. If you're going to trade anyone to get better at the guard position, he wouldn't be a bad guy to trade, though I'm not dying to trade him.
Okay, what teams need a center? What playoff teams are going to need a center?
Jay?
Are
you still there, Jay? You playing Candy Crush?
No, my phone's out of reach.
Okay, let's go on to the next question. Frank writes, do you think James Dolan is a member of the Illuminati? What element do you think James Dolan would get if he signed up? How would a conversation between Dolan and your Illuminati connection go? If he became a member of the Illuminati, would the Knicks win more games?
Somebody listens to The Brink of Sanity.
Thank you, Frank.
That's so funny.
I assume that's how James Dolan got his start. Grant writes, I can't believe this. We lost to the Hawks even though Korver only made one basket. Our bench killed us. Thoughts? That's a good point, actually, because usually Korver destroys us.
I hate when Korver's on my fantasy team and he gets no points.
How's your fantasy team doing, Jay? Are you in last place yet?
No, I am playing last place, and I'm mopping the floor with them, which is good because I had gone all the way down.
We're playing this week?
No, you're in 13th. I'm in 12th.
I am in 13th place?
Yes.
Oh.
Although
Stack guy, when's the parade?
Although you might be in 14th after this week because I'm winning 7-2. I think I won this week 7-2.
Yeah.
And you... Oh, no, you won 6-3. So...
Holy crap.
You beat the 10th place team.
Oh, shoot. Should I set my lineup again? What else are we going to talk about here? Anything more about, you want to go back to that Christmas past and Christmas future?
No. All right. We're done, right?
I think we're done. So are the Knicks. This is all. Please tell me, just instead of what we learned today, tell me some positives going forward. Make me happy because I'm really getting sad about the future. Not the future, not the future in the long term, but the next few weeks I feel like it's going to be bad. So, Stat Guy, what? Give me some positives.
Oh, why me?
Okay, Jay, give me some positives.
That's a really hard question.
Not everyone on the team can keep shooting this bad.
Good positive. Stat Guy.
Well, I already told you that the last time we went on a 4-game losing streak, we won the next 4, so I'm counting on that.
They say a broken clock is right twice a day, so maybe Fisher will start making some good ideas, some good moves.
Yeah. All right, so thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with a lot less bits about ghosts.
Ooh. What's the ghost? So what's the lesson we learned from Jay? What's the lesson? Like, you're supposed to be at the end of the story. The main character becomes better off for having learned his lesson about the future. What lesson did we learn?
We learned that announcing bits without planning what's going to go into the bit doesn't work.
Ooh, that's a good lesson.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye.
Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group, just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost the sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.